Adaeze sat quietly beside the ancient village shrine, staring at the sacrifice placed before the gods. The afternoon sun was slowly disappearing behind the tall trees, and the entire village of Banga was unusually quiet. In front of Adaeze was a beautiful sacrifice prepared by the villagers. There were boiled eggs, roasted corn, fresh fruits, and palm oil arranged carefully on a large wooden tray. Adaeze knew very well that the food was not meant for her. It was a sacred offering. Nobody in the village was allowed to touch it. But Adaeze's stomach had other plans. She swallowed hard as she stared at the eggs. Just one, she whispered to herself. She looked around. Nobody was there. Adaeze slowly reached for one of the eggs and ate it. Then she picked up another. Before she knew what was happening, she was eating the roasted corn, then the fruits, then everything else on the tray. Adaeze completely forgot about the gods. She only cared about satisfying her hunger. When she finally finished everything, she rubbed her stomach and smiled. Now I feel better. She stood up, dusted herself off, and hurried home as if nothing had happened. When Adaeze arrived home, she found her mother, Mrs. Okoro, sitting outside their house. Mrs. Okoro looked at her daughter suspiciously. "Adaeze, where have you been?" Adaeze smiled and opened her mouth to answer, but no words came out. She tried again. Nothing. Adaeze's smile disappeared. She touched her mouth. Then she tried to force it open. It wouldn't move. Her lips were completely sealed together. "Adaeze?" Mrs. Okoro called. Adaeze began pointing desperately at her mouth. Mrs. Okoro stood up. "What is wrong with you?" Adaeze tried to speak again, but she couldn't. Mr. Okoro came outside after hearing the commotion. "What happened?" Mrs. Okoro looked at him with fear in her eyes. "I don't know. Adaeze cannot open her mouth." Mr. Okoro moved closer and examined his daughter. "Adaeze, what happened to you?" Adaeze shook her head. She couldn't tell them. She couldn't speak. And deep inside, Adaeze knew exactly what had happened. She had eaten the sacrifice of the gods, but she was too afraid to confess. That evening, the whole family remained terrified. They had no idea that Adaeze's punishment had only just begun. And the question remained, what would happen when the gods discovered that their sacred offering had been stolen?